Hello and welcome to our book two of tourism. This is the chapter from 337, and it's a beautiful chapter, something which is very common knowledge you should know about your own country. It has very short, I'll quickly run through and explain that in this itself. So, there are three chapters in the beginning about cultural heritage of India. So, this is mostly about how the religions have come across in India, the Indian origin religion, and the religion that have come from traders. And then we'll talk about a simple module about natural diversity in India, one of my favorite aspects. So today we go to a chapter number 9, where we speak about three very, very prominent religions in India: Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism. The common thread that joins these three religions and Sikhism, as we also will talk about, is these are Indian originated. These are religion very much part of our fabric, our culture, and our way of life. So, who is a Hindu? Hindu is more like a way of life. There are no dogmas, there is no one God. Uh, it's an amalgamation of cultures and beliefs from across the society of entire length and breadth of India. The rituals and festivals are very colorful. There's a lot of joy. In fact, if you look at the entire country, there's so much happening in the religion of Hinduism. Now, very essentially, when there's a question asked, you need to know basic concepts. So, the idea that everything is sacred is a part of Hinduism. So, you can look at, the sacred places or tirtha, and we'll talk about when you do tirth yatra. The tirtha could mean just, into a river, a place of pilgrimage. And the most important scripture of the Hindus is the Vedas, right? And the two important mythological tales are the Ramayans and the Mahabharata. In Mahabharata is the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is a sermon that Lord Krishna gave to Arjun on the battlefield. So most of us should know this. This is something that have been taught, we've read about it, and hopefully, we can take these concepts and we can write it. Now, the four special places, or they are called the mathas, the holy places, they were established by, right, Saint Adi Shankaracharya. And these are called the dhams, the four dhams as we call Badrinath, Puri, Dwarka, and Rameshwaram. In Tamil Nadu, Rameshwaram. And that's why one more reason to know where you travel. Have you done the four dhams? So you talk about this. This is a very popular question. Most of you should be aware, but quickly summarizing it, what you should know Dwarka. Dwarka is a city, associated with Lord Krishna. It's also, the origin. This is in Gujarat, the capital of Krishna kingdom, and it is the main temple is called Jagat Mandir. Where was Lord Krishna born? You should know the place called Mathura. And if you talk about Ramayan, Lord Ram was born in Ayodhya. So many simple concepts. My idea is to teach you generally overview of these. The entire idea, okay, there is the whole Rath Yatra. It's a national holiday. It is in Puri. And what is Rath? Basically, it means a divine chariot. So, you look at the mythology, look at the entire series, and Puri has this annual Rath Yatra, which is not only a tourist attraction, and our chapter is on tourism, it is a place for the devotees to gather together. In this Yatratra, three idols essentially are taken out on rath or chariots and pulled by thousands of people, and ultimately the entire thing, and they are taken back to their eternal place where they rested. So this is how the Puri, of course, there are better pictures available in Google, but you should just have a general idea of what we're talking about. There's so many places, so many cities in India. Every city perhaps would be having its own significance, own speciality. But one very important city you should know is Banaras, which is now known as Varanasi or Kashi. Why do people go to Kashi? There is this river, the holy Ganga, right? And it is dedicated to Shiva and the family of Lord Shiva. So there are many gurukuls in Banaras. A lot of the Banaras is the most ancient city. In fact, French traveler Francis Bernier mentioned about Banaras in his travel. It is also called the Athens of India. When you write an answer in your chapter, I add these pointers because these are tourism pointers I want to talk about. People go and take a dip in the holy river to get moksha or salvation. And there are so many places you can talk about. Along with Badrinath, there is Haridwar, there is Kedarnath, yes, the movie that came in. There is Kanchipuram, which is very known for its saris in Tamil Nadu. Kedarnath is in Uttarakhand. You should know your cities, you should know the places. And this is in rough the entire chapter on Hinduism. Essentially, most of the questions are from what I've explained to you, and I want you to keep it simple and easy in regards to that. Let's move to our next faith, next religion, which is Jainism. What is Jainism? It was started by Mahavira, the founder of Jainism, and he is the 24th and last of the Tirantkara. Tirantkara means a teacher, right? Born in a place called Vaishali, and his father was from a Kshatriya tribe. Kshatriya are the four tribes or the four caste system, Brahmin being on top, Kshatriyas are the warrior tribe, and then the Shudras, the lower level. And of course, the entire teaching of Mahavira was not to believe or not to focus on the caste system, no faith in the caste system. Very similar. He left his home at the age of 30 to become an aesthetic and became a monk. And for 12 years, he was meditating, traveling for truth until he found enlightenment or conqueror. It is Jinnah. And from Jinnah came the word Jains and philosophy of Jainism. What's the core principle of Mahavira? Do not believe in the existence of God, right? They don't have no faith in caste system. And then the four vows, so four promises a Jain takes up. One, the two simple ones are don't lie and don't steal, but not to injure life. So if you look at the monks, they even have a small, like today you have mask-like thing, not to harm even the microbes. And also the monks have not to own property. So these are the four path, or you can call it the threefold path. Threefold path to attain moksha or salvation is right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. Also, it is simple that you understand. These are the four. Even the four noble truths of Buddhism are very similar: right belief, right knowledge, right conduct, and right speech. They believe in the concept of ahimsa or non-violence. So this is essentially what you need to know about Jainism. Very important thing about sex. Sex, two very, very important sects in the Jainism are Shvetambaras and Digambaras. Shvet means, in Sanskrit, it means white. So the monks will wear only white dress. This is Shvetambara. Diga means sky. So they believe sky is the roof, sky is the clothing. So they do not wear any clothes. And there's some very, very knowledgeable saints who are addressed in the parliaments, in the lower courts and the lower, Rajya Sabhas, where they've come in and they preach their sermon. Two places you should know for Jainism. One is the most important place that we can talk about is one in, this is called in Rajasthan or Bihar first, is this Mount Parsvanatha. Okay, so this is a new term for me. All right. So this basically what it means is they have monks, right? They have people who attain salvation. They have 24. Mahavira is the 24th one. Think of this as a mountain, and I'll draw a sun for you to remember. These are simple things we do. Out of 24, you can draw 20 spokes of sun or 20 rays of sun. 20 of their gurus, of the teachers, of the Tirantakara have achieved moksha in this place, Mount Parsvantha in Bihar. So, if you want to know the value of it, this is the value of it. What is the special religious place for the Jains? There are many of them in India. One of them is Mount Abu in Rajasthan, a very important tourist place. They have the Dilwara temples. Google Dilwara temples. I should go back and show you Dilwara temples. Maybe I'll quickly take you around to Dilwara so you know what I'm talking about. Let me just stop the share. You should know because you will not forget it if I teach you this way. And it is, you'll otherwise never go. So Dilwara temple in Mount Abu, Rajasthan. It's a beautiful place. Look at this. Look at the architecture. It has 48 pillars. 48 pillars. Look at the granite floors. Look at the carving. Look at the entire temple out there. And then it has got intricate beautiful, figures of animals, humans. And this is the entire Mount Abu. You can see the background, how beautiful this temple is. So this is all about Jainism. Hopefully you will remember it better and you can take it forward. The last thing in this particular chapter is Buddhism. Very similar story with Gautama Buddha, the founder, the father figure in Buddhism. He is someone who was born in Lumbini. Again, Lumbini means garden. His father did not want him to become a monk or a saint, but one day as he was traveling, he was a prince. Gautama Buddha was a prince. He saw three people: an old man, a sick man and a dead man. You get old, you become sick, and you die. He said, if this is what the pleasures of life will become, what's the purpose of life? So one night, right, Siddhartha, that his name was, left his wife and his child sleeping to become a monk. He traveled and traveled and traveled until he did not find what he was searching for, and he began to meditate under the peepal tree in Bodh Gaya, where he understood the cause of suffering of the people. This is the same place where he became Buddha, the enlightened one, and he gave his first sermon, first speech at Deer Park in Sarnath, which is near Varanasi, right? The same place which is also beautiful. The river Ganga is flowing, and his first five disciples, first five students were attained there. So this is the great philosophy of Buddha. You know, Buddhism has spread to Far East, China, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Thailand. You know, all of these countries have embraced the teaching of Gautama Buddha, and you should be proud. Our country is the land of the origin of his preaching. There are eightfold paths, eight important areas, which is simple: right conduct, speech, action, livelihood, efforts, mindfulness, meditation, resolution, and view. Right? So basically, Buddha preached in the language of Pali and Prakrit and laid value of virtuals and morals. If you have to ask a question, what are the four noble truths? Remember, same thing in Jainism. So basically, it is right belief, right knowledge, right action or conduct, and right speech. So first, speak well, do well, and have good belief and good knowledge. So this is the entire thing about Buddhism. Probably I also spoke about Sarnath, Lumbini, and this is your chapter. If you just read this, you're prepared for this entire chapter. Good luck, all the best, keep the faith.